The reason I'm doing this, there comes a point where you get tired of saying, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes Monday. Monday becomes the next week. Next week becomes next month. And before you know it, another year has gone by. And if that's one thing I've learned, is that nobody is coming to change your life for you. You have to decide that you're ready. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not waiting for the perfect time. I'm not waiting until I feel motivated. I'm not waiting until everything in my life is easy. I'm starting now. Because if I want a different life, I have to start making different choices. And this is day 3 of 75 hard. Day 3, and honestly, this is where the excitement starts to wear off. The first couple of days are easy because you're motivated, you're excited. You've made the decision, but motivation isn't what changes your life. Consistency does. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned through this. You don't have to feel like doing something to do it. You have to decide that you're doing it and then follow through. Some days I'm going to feel strong. Some days I'm going to feel tired. Some days I'm going to question why I'm doing this. But the goal isn't to have 75 perfect days. The goal is to become the kind of person who keeps promises to herself. The bigger journey. When I look back at where I started, sometimes it honestly doesn't feel real. I started this journey at 140 kilos, and now I'm here. Still working, still pushing, still trying to become a healthier, stronger version of myself. And losing weight has taught me something. The number on the scale can change, but changing your mindset is the real transformation. Because you can lose weight and still think like the person you were before. You can change your body without changing your habits. And I don't want this to just be another diet. I don't want this to be another challenge that I complete and then forget about. I want to build a life that I actually want to live. Day 4, keep going. And this is the part nobody really sees. The little decisions, getting up when you don't want to, going for the walk, doing the workout, putting the healthiest choice on your plate, choosing to keep going when nobody would know if you didn't. Because discipline isn't about doing things when it's easy. It's doing things when it's hard. And every time I keep a promise to myself, I'm building a little bit more confidence. Not confidence in how I look, confidence in who I am, confidence that I can trust myself. And I think that's something I've been missing for a long time. Sometimes your progress doesn't look dramatic. Sometimes it's just putting one foot in front of the other, literally. A walk might not look like much, but when you do it, every day, those small walks become miles. Those miles become fitness, and those fitness become strength. And those small choices eventually create a completely different life. So if you're watching this and you feel like you've got so far to go, please don't focus on the entire journey. Just focus on today. You don't have to change your whole life today. You just have to make one better decision, then another, and then another. Day 5, the mindset shift. And I'm starting to realize that this challenge isn't really about 75 days. It's about what happens after 75 days. Who am I going to become? Will I still move my body? Will I still prioritize my health? Will I still choose discipline when nobody is watching? That's what I'm really working towards. Because I don't want to spend my whole life constantly starting over. I want this to be the last time I have to say, this time I'm going to change. I want to become someone who simply lives differently. And then there's running, something I never imagined would become such a big part of my life. There was a time when running, even a short distance, felt impossible. And now I'm training for a half marathon. Sometimes I have to remind myself just how far I've already come. Because when you're focused on where you're going, it's so easy to forget where you started. So this is your reminder. Look back. Look at the things you once thought were impossible. Look at the things you can do now that you couldn't do before. That's progress. That's not perfection. Progress. And maybe you're watching this because you want to change. Maybe you've been saying that 2026 was going to be your year. Maybe you feel like you've wasted time. Maybe you've started and stopped more times than you can count. I want you to know something. It's not too late. You haven't missed your chance. You don't need January 1st. You don't need Monday. You don't need a new month. You don't need anyone else's permission. You can decide today. You can start with a walk. You can drink some water. You can make one healthier meal. You can go to the gym. You can put your shoes on and take that first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be different. I'm only on day 5. I still have a long way to go. But I'm proud of myself for being here. Because 5 days might not sound like a lot, but 5 days of keeping promises to yourself is 5 days more than if you had never started. I don't know exactly who I'm going to be at the end of these 75 days, but I know she won't be the same person who started them. She's going to be stronger, more disciplined, more confident, and hopefully a little bit more proud of herself. So if you're waiting for a sign to start, maybe this is it. Start before you're ready. Start scared. Start tired. Start imperfectly. Just start. Because one day you're going to look back at the version of yourself who finally decided to begin, and you're going to be glad you did. Day 5 complete. 70 days to go, and I'm just getting started.